The man that should have become my hero possessed an identity fueled with anger and rage that he took out of my mother and anybody else in his way. My mom was in a band, and the music scene led her to using heroin as her escape from the life that was in front of her. Our family split when I was 2. Fast forward a few years, I now have a stepmom at home and we mutually hate each other. Sports became my way to escape that, so with no real guidance and discipline, I slowly became the angry, violent person that my father was. It wasn't long before this led me to trouble. First time I went to jail, I was a 15-year-old kid, sent away for 6 months, surrounded by gang members and killers. It was during this time that I felt my pride really being fueled into this bad boy image that I was trying to create for myself. I ended up in Dallas after graduation, playing basketball for a small college. I had 2 full-ride basketball scholarship offers sitting on the table that I just walked away from. I packed my stuff and I moved back to Odessa. I was lost. I had no plan. I got an apartment and I started selling drugs. My phone was constantly ringing. I was on the move all day long, selling weed in 3 different counties. I was on top of the world. Every day I stayed high with no ambition for anything other than just making money, earning respect, and what girl that I was gonna be with next. I then made a decision that would change my life for the rest of my life. I robbed my Connect. My friends held everyone at gunpoint. All my dreams of basketball were now gone. Here I was, 20 years old, sitting in a high-security federal prison, my ego once again being fueled by the violence surrounding me. I love hearing grown men scream as they cried out for help, watching the blood leak out of their bodies as they take their last breath. It just did something for me. I fell in love with being tougher and more violent than my father ever was. I was released a few days before Christmas in 2009. I started partying and drinking more than I ever had. The violence, it still controlled me. I'd be at the bars fighting every night. There were literally days I would wake up in the mornings cleaning blood off my clothes and my shoes. None of it was ever mine. I'm just fueling my ego, going 100 miles an hour, and that's when my entire world came crashing down. I now have no job. Everyone that loved me has been chased away by me, and here I am on my knees in my bedroom floor with a gun in my mouth. What a coward I am. I can't even pull the trigger. I'm screaming and cursing at myself because I'm not even man enough to get the job done, to end my life. That's when I picked up the Bible that I received when I was 15 years old when I was in jail. I never knew why I carried that thing around for so long, but it was the one thing that I reached for when I took the gun out of my mouth. I showed up at Crossroads the next day. That 1-hour drive from my house to Crossroads, it was the most emotional I've ever been in my life. I just cried. I had no idea what was gonna take place with my life when I showed up here, but God did. I parked as far away from the doors as I could, trying to convince myself not even to go in, but I did. And that led me to the front row, the front chair, and this is when my entire life changed. I realized then that I'm not bigger than God, and that I did need God, and He showed up for me. I knew everything moving forward in my life would be Him setting my path. I'm now the youth outreach director right here at Crossroads. When my world was crashing down, I was done. I wanted nothing more than to eat the bullet inside of that pistol. And look at God though. Look at the transformation. Look at the lifestyle change. Crossroads is the church where an imperfect person like me and an imperfect person like you can meet a perfect Savior.